My name is GIANNI Michelini, and for the past 20 years I've been involved in the music industry as an artist, as a founder of a music school, and I also work with Abbey Road London as part of their education initiative called the Abbey Road Institute, where we teach music production and audio engineering. And I have extensive experience from a musical background that is diverse, involving, performing as an artist, songwriting, working in a recording studio, and part of the education process. Today, I'm going to be talking about networking in the music industry, how to do it, and why it's important to do so. So here's a few tips. Step number one, why is it important? It doesn't really matter if you're a musician, if you're an audio designer, a games designer, for example, where you're doing sound design for film or game, or you're working doing live sound or mixing, or like I said, looking for your next gig. Networking is incredibly important because you don't get gigs sitting in front of your computer, and you don't get gigs without networking. So there's multiple ways to network now. A long time ago, you would simply, send a paper resume off or look in the newspaper. Now, with the incredible platform of YouTube and Instagram, you can essentially network and put your marketing out there digitally. But I think one of the greatest ways to network as a musician is to build a portfolio, is to go out there and play gigs. Musicians get gigs at gigs. They're not going to get gigs in front of their computer. So if you're playing a bunch of venues, or you're doing a lot of work for someone, recording, you'll usually have people speak to each other, and that networking can be really authentic, really native in its environment, where you're just meeting people as you're doing your craft, and people get to see the product of what you're producing in real time. Which is fantastic. So, even if you can imagine you're the client or you're the employer, someone wants to book you for their wedding, you can send them video promo, but they will want to see you perform live, that it matches that video promo. So even though a digital awareness is phenomenal, it's something you definitely need, I would also say you absolutely need to network. The next tip I want to talk about is your mindset. So, I guess a lot of musicians and people that work in the music industry have had the unfortunate experience of feeling like they've been used and abused, or been offered gigs that they haven't been paid for. And that does happen. But I will say that to build your portfolio should be your mindset. If it's your portfolio of recording someone, if it's your portfolio of performing experience, that is incredibly important. So, as I was coming through the ranks and performing, I did so many gigs for free. It wasn't funny, but those gigs would lead to paying gigs because I would get gigs at gigs. As you move further along in the industry, and I guess you climb the ladder a little bit more, if you're more established and someone says to you, will you play this gig for $10? And you've already have a reputation, that can be really insulting to a musician or an artist. But if you're starting out, I definitely would do every gig for free. And what you'll find most of the time, most venues will give you food, or they'll look after you, and you can build your reputation as a hard worker, someone who is reliable. And I think that is very important to have in your mindset as you move forward. The next tip I'd like to give you is where to start. Where do you start? Well, I think the most important thing is starting by talking to people in the music industry is a really, really great point. Find someone who's already doing what you want to do, and talk to them about how they got started, and what things they did to get there. The many masterclasses that we have with different artists, from Grammy-winning artists right through to ARIA-winning artists, every single person has one thing in common, and that's they all start in a similar way, and that is they find people who can mentor them, and they follow the trajectory of success of those people. So where to start? First of all, if you're going to play free gigs, it's about building a portfolio. So if you want to be a professional musician, play as many gigs as possible so you can put down as many venues, you can get as many references, you can work with other musicians, and that is the ultimate way to network. If you do that, that is a really fantastic platform. We have so many different masterclasses where we've had someone that maybe works in broadcast, and they will say, you know, we need people to hold a mic at the MCG, and if they're reliable and they can do that, it allows them to mix in the right group of people. So if you want to network, you're not going to meet other musicians and fellow people who are successful in their craft and their passion by working, you know, at a McDonald's or a Pizza Hut. What you're going to do is you're going to find those people in the industry, and if you want to find those people, you've got to be prepared, as per my last point, to work for free. So getting out there, contacting a bunch of people. No one is that, you know, is wanting people who have the right mindset are going to say no if you call them up and you say, I would really love to perform at your venue because I love your venue and I really want to get some experience. Would you mind if I come in for a trial? I don't expect any money, I just want to build a portfolio. And the same is if you record them or you want to mix them live. It doesn't matter where you fit in the music industry. I think that is the best way to start, is really hustle and get out there. My next point, these all lead together, is how to find an opportunity. So finding an opportunity is really simple, actually. It's ringing up, obviously, people, going in person, and you know, if there's a live music venue that you know, go in there and see if you can assist in some way. It may be folding leads up, it may be helping the band set up, it may be, you know, seeing opportunities that are happening on social media for certain things, certain jobs, walking into music shops and speaking to the people there, letting them know who you are and that you really want some opportunities. And if they know any artists or any venues that are looking for people, finding opportunities is simply about getting yourself and putting yourself out there. You've really got to put your head down and focus on finding those opportunities. Those opportunities, they're you know, they're not like doors that just open up. You really sometimes have to kick those doors down, and sometimes you don't even know where the door is, so you just have to find different people to, you know, help you facilitate where that door is so you can get your foot in there. And that's just finding people who are passionate and working in the industry. The next thing I want to cover is, how do you know if it's a good opportunity? This is a great thing to cover, because sometimes, as I said earlier, musicians don't know if it is a good opportunity or not. So if you don't know if it's a good opportunity, the way to assess that is find out where you are in the music industry yourself. So if you're already performing and playing gigs and making an income from it, you know, you may not want to play for free. Or I know so many professional musicians who may get paid really well for their covers gigs, but then they may have an awesome support for an artist that's really well known, that has a fan base, and they'll be willing to do that gig for free. So you have to assess the opportunity and not frame everything about how much you're going to earn, but all the things that it's going to pay off for that. You know, I think assessing the opportunity is also got to do with the mindset of what you're doing. So if you see that it's an opportunity where you can reach more people, that you can be out there, get known and meet people, and you feel it's going to help push you forward, I definitely would take it. I think drops fill the bucket, and if you you know, want to start getting yourself out there, taking all the opportunities that you can is a really great idea. The next point I want to cover is, why are the most successful institutions in the world actually places that you network? This is a really interesting point, because what a lot of people don't understand is that if you study at any Ivy League university in the United States, be it Harvard or Stanford or Berkeley, what you're doing is you're not just getting a degree or a diploma. What you're doing is you're getting a networking opportunity. Working through Abbey Road, I've gotten to see that the networking opportunities are absolutely incredible, where you can meet the right people and also the right peers that you're studying with. So a lot of internships that you get, or people that study at certain places, it's all about building up your network. And building your network is incredibly important. The bigger your musical network is, the more opportunities come to you. So you have to look at it like a tree, and the more branches that you have out there, the more things that are happening, the more places that they can grow, and the more fruit that it can produce. And I think that that's really imperative when you're looking to network. So finding those opportunities and making sure that you are willing to do them for free, and showing that you're a really hard worker, that you're really dedicated and you're really passionate. It's all about building a portfolio. Opportunity meeting preparation. Now, if you've got an opportunity to meet someone in the music industry, but you're not prepared, you don't have a body of work to show them, or you don't have a reputation, or you can't show them the last 20 places that you've played a gig or you've mixed someone's record, then they're not going to take you so serious. No matter what piece of paper you have, no matter where you've studied, that is actually the thing that counts in the industry. So I definitely would recommend that if you want to be successful in the music industry and have a career, make sure that you network out there, meet people, make sure you're friendly, you're approachable, you're always early, you're professional, and that you really make the most of it. I hope you've enjoyed this vlog, and look forward to hearing all these success stories.